Hello and welcome to week 2 of EDT 580. Yes, for summer of 18. Thanks for the work of getting your introductions up and jumping in with that first discussion question. We will continue reading the two texts this week. It looks like from the initial responses that I'm seeing from week 1, folks are enjoying the texts and kind of the slightly different take that they each have on some of the issues around how do we bring joy and play back into our classrooms. So this week, just a few slight modifications that I've made to what you all have access to. The first is just a reminder that this Wednesday night, the 1st, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., we'll have a Twitter chat. I'm going to do a whole nother little video on that Twitter chat in a minute, but I am asking you to be online for that 1 hour. I'll also, in my other video, go through what to do if you don't have a Twitter account. So the other piece is you're going to keep reading from Resnick. It's going to be chapters 3 and 4. Resnick is the Lifelong Kindergarten, and then Willingham, it's 3, 4, and 5. And this week with the reading reflection, I'm going to ask you to post it to the stream in Google Classroom instead of responding to a question. And that's in part just to model how Google Classroom works a little bit differently when you have folks respond on the stream. If you have not used Google Classroom that way, not a problem. In the classroom, you would, just like Allison has here, you can add a post. If you click here, you will get an option, I think it says add post. And then if you want, obviously once it's there, you can add a reply to someone. And what I've done is that originally the question that I had posed was pretty wide open. Now what I've done, if you go to where it says please answer one of these questions, it'll open this document here, and I've just given you 3 options because as I was rereading the texts today, excuse me, thinking about this week, I realized that in many ways these next 2 chunks on the surface might seem to disagree with each other. So option 1 is what I had given you before, so if you'd already started to work on it, feel free to do that one. Again, just using examples from the text, the various texts. And then option 2 is taking a Resnick quote around kind of what Resnick might diagnose as one of the issues around how we design instruction, and asking you to think through the lens of what would Willingham say to agree or disagree, and then start to think about what it means for you. These chapters, as I was rereading, made me really question, a lot of the things I did as a 4th and 5th grade teacher around, maybe that was why transfer of knowledge wasn't happening, because I had maybe this really exciting hook into a lesson, and then that hook became what students would focus on, not really thinking about moving those abstract concepts from one to the other, or, in math word problems, not moving that deep structure analysis when the surface structure changed. So that's option 2. And then option 3 is I found one of the most interesting and kind of challenging things that Willingham says is this idea that relevancy should not get the currency that it does for the reasons it does, and instead points to the idea of like the effective story as a way to think about and design instruction. And so again, kind of how would Resnick agree, disagree, and then again, think about if our goal is for kids to transfer and apply knowledge, how might a story help you do that with a specific unit? So those are the questions for this week, and then just asking for, asking for you to respond to at least one peer again next week. And then again, podcasts, for the play section here, just some podcasts. I really love listening to podcasts. I have a long commute. So I've given you some that might be relevant to the readings that we're doing here. Again, this is really just for play if podcasts aren't something you do. If they are, share out on the stream some other ones that you really like, so we can listen to those. And then just a reminder that next Monday will be our face-to-face portion. Stay tuned. I'll be in touch more about that. So hope this gets you started for week 2. And as always, be in touch with questions.